Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show's about to begin. Daniel, let's put on a show.
Let's do it.
So today's going to be a slightly different one. I think it's the first episode that I've done with a non-real estate person. But what the conversation that we're about to have is extremely relevant to the real estate community. We're going to talk about longevity, wellness for high performers. And if any career is going to shorten your lifespan, it's probably real estate.
Yeah.
Whether you're a CEO, a director, a real estate agent, a prop tech founder, whatever it may be, there's a lot of information that high performers have probably been neglecting or misled. So you're going to kind of cut through the noise. And I have also just been through a program with you. So Daniel is founder of Elite Vita, which is what is it?
It's a longevity clinic, health and wellness clinic. We reverse people's biological age and
live longer,
but live healthier for longer.
And how many more years do you think you can add to people's lives? Like, okay, so me and you, we went to school together.
Yeah,
that's how we know each other.
Absolutely.
And we met up. We didn't know who we were.
No, that's true.
We were at the boxing the other day. What was it?
It was grassroots boxing.
Boxing.
On the Palm at W.
And we got talking about, I'm from London, you're from London. Oh, I went to school. Oh, where'd you go to school? Cricklewood. Oh, I went to school, Cricklewood.
Yes.
And then it turned out to be the same school. But Daniel was a couple of years young,
Yep.
in the few years below me. But let's have it right. We're both in our mid-40s.
Yes.
So for a mid-40s woman and a mid-40s man, following all your advice and whatever you do at the clinic, how many, let's say, if I carry on the way that I'm living, I could probably live to 70. Could you, he knows all my results. He just gave me a look like,
you can live a lot, you can and will live a lot longer than that.
Okay,
without a doubt.
Without any intervention, my life expectancy
Well,
is
average life
what?
expectancy at the moment for a woman is about 86 years old.
Okay.
But that's on current stats, and therefore
that's another 40 New Year's Eves, another 40 Christmases.
But realistically, you should be looking 95 without interventions.
95 without intervention.
Correct, yeah.
So with intervention,
we're looking 110.
Oof, so we're going to get that letter from the King. So if you don't know, if you're a British citizen, if you reach the age of 100, you used to get a letter from the Queen, a personalised letter from the Queen. Now I'm expecting one. Oh, but it's not even going to be the King, is it? He won't be around.
He won't be. Well, you never know. You never know. It depends what interventions he's got going on.
King William.
It would be William, I imagine, yeah.
Okay, so I could get to a letter from King William. Right, so Daniel, let's go back to you and the foundation of Elite Vita. How did it all come about? What gaps did you see that needed filling?
It wasn't just gaps. It was coming from a journey for myself. So I set up a company in the UK. I run a fostering agency in the UK. Now, after setting up the company for about a year into it, I just found my energy levels low. I didn't have the drive, the focus, the get up and go that I used to have. I went to my GP. The GP that I went to said he thought I was depressed and wanted to put me on medication for depression. I said no, I didn't think it was that. I knew I wasn't depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this is in the UK,
That's right,
it?
yeah. It's kind of standard GP, local GP. So I went to a functional medicine specialist in Harley Street. They looked at my bloods, did a really extensive blood panel, and they found that I wasn't metabolizing vitamin B3 correctly. But vitamin B3 turns into NAD. NAD is known as the miracle molecule.
Right.
Now, I did a course of NAD drips, IV. I did 1,000 milligrams a day for 5 days. After the first day, I could feel the change, the difference in me. By day 5, I was a new man. So from that, alongside running my business in the UK, I went on a personal journey to see how I could optimize my health. That went through looking at DNA analysis. At the time, the platforms out there, they weren't really giving in-depth DNA analysis. But also I was just looking at different supplements I could use to change the way I was feeling.
Because that is a big thing in the UK in particular. I mean, that's the whole reason why I left the UK was because I discovered I had seasonal affective disorder, which is a form of depression, really.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
Because the lack of sunlight, you go to work, it's dark, you come back from work, it's dark. That depletes your energy, something about vitamin D. and I couldn't continue living that way. So, and for men in particular, you will go to your GP. He'll tell you depression because it's easy.
Easy tick.
And just
give you a prescription. Absolutely. Wrong prescription. Unfortunately, healthcare is not about being well. It's about treating sickness. The incentives in healthcare are sick. People should not be incentivized for just prescribing without understanding really the root cause. And really, we can all just optimize ourselves. That's the bottom line, and we won't be sick.
And how deeper of a root can you get than your actual DNA?
DNA is the crux.
Right.
Really, DNA you have to do. You need to do DNA once in your life. Mm-hmm. It's the handbook you should have been given at birth, essentially. It's the user manual for how you operate. It could indicate how you control your hormones are controlled, how your cortisol levels are controlled, how you deal with absolutely everything, your risks for dementia, for stroke, for Alzheimer's. It can give you indications, but then from that, you can then take those indications and say, what can we do to change those things? Epigenetics plays a part, but also your methylation pathway plays a huge part.
Right, so I want to break all of these down because I did my DNA analysis with Elite Vita. And so you go in, you take it was just a blood test, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was a mouth swab.
Was there more than... Oh,
it was a mouth swab.
That's
yeah,
right.
For DNA, it's a mouth swab. Very simple. Goes off to the lab. Takes about 5 weeks to come back.
Right. So I got my results in last week.
Dung, dung, dung.
I got hauled into the clinic and I was just like, first of all, tell me, is there any bad news? And so it was really interesting because of course, you know your family history and you know the diseases that your grandparents died of and your parents might be suffering with. So in our genes, we've got, or maybe it's not even a genes thing. I thought it was a cultural thing because you all eat the same foods and so on. So I thought, look, diabetes, heart disease, and high cholesterol, these are and high blood pressure. These are the common, that if I'm going to die, it's probably going to be a heart attack or diabetes. But now at the age of 43, I think I cut out sugar completely, refined sugar completely. So I was like, no, I'm safe from diabetes. So actually getting to see what's in my DNA was really useful. And the one thing that did pop up was I'm at high risk of diabetes.
Yeah.
So I'm already aware of that and I'm doing something about it. But the one thing that upset me the most, which I was not expecting to hear, and if you follow my Instagram, you'll have seen me rant about this the other day, is that I'm intolerant to dairy.
Yeah.
Lactose intolerant.
Lactose.
And I was like, you're kidding me.
Yeah. I mean...
I'm not happy about this at all.
No, I mean, the bottom line, it's intolerance. Mm-hmm. It's not an allergy.
Right, so what's the difference between an intolerance and an allergy?
So an allergy, we all have a reaction such as anaphylactic shock. You may get a rash. Intolerance means your body can't digest it very well. And with intolerances, you can work around it. For instance, some people find taking a high dose of vitamin C will get their body in balance and then they can the intolerance isn't necessarily an issue for them. And also just to be aware of it, you can then just reduce the amount of milk or dairy you have.
Yeah, no.
So that's not going to happen for you.
Well, I walked out of it and I was like, would I rather live longer without dairy in my life or have a shorter life?
Yeah.
And continue to enjoy.
The bottom line for someone like yourself, you said there was a problem with diabetes. There's simple interventions we can do for that. One of the best interventions at the moment is a product called berberine. Mm-hmm. It's a normal supplement.
I've heard of this,
yeah. So berberine will improve your insulin resistance. Berberine also, it has a two-pronged attack. So it improves your insulin resistance while also improving your ApoB marker. The ApoB marker is the hardening, or it's little particles in the blood that harden the artery walls. And over time, that's a calcification of the artery walls, the risk for cardiovascular disease, heart attack, or stroke. Mm-hmm. So with berberine, it's essentially the natural version of a pharmaceutical product called metformin. Metformin's been studied.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the pills they give you my dad takes metformin.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The interesting thing with metformin, although it's been prescribed for diabetes, it's actually been studied and showed it's one of the best pharmaceutical drugs you can take for overall longevity. But you can also take the natural version, berberine, which comes from a tree bark. You can take that and we see massive reductions in inflammation in the body, massive reduction in ApoB. If you get ApoB levels down, you can actually reverse the hardening of the arteries. So it's crucial to take that for someone like yourself.
So for someone listening, just explain why it's important to do your DNA profiling.
So first of all, it's not profiling. That would be a criminal.
Oh,
We're not doing profiling.
Okay.
We're
What is
doing
it?
analysis.
Analysis.
Profiling would be trying to work out.
Is profiling working out where I come from? It's not where you come from, where your heritage is.
No,
it's
no,
not
no.
that kind of DNA.
So we do full DNA analysis. The crucial thing for doing your DNA analysis is understanding how your body operates. That's the bottom line. Understanding not only body, your brain operates. Once you understand that, you know what nutrients your body can absorb, what you can't absorb, what supplements you can take, what you shouldn't take as well. Many people take lots of supplements. They're taking the wrong supplements.
And that's what I've had like a supplement and vitamin audit by your doctor. So he was like, carry on taking that. You don't need that. You actually need to take this to support the absorption of that.
Correct.
So you might just be taking a multivitamin every day, or you might be taking vitamin D or whatever it may be. But what I discovered was vitamin D, you can take vitamin D, but without magnesium, your body can't absorb it or something like that.
Well, it's K2 often. K2, yeah, that's right. It's different for different people again. The bottom line is we're all so different. We've got different heritages?
Heritage,
yes, exactly, the plural. We've all got different backgrounds and we all function so differently. What works for you may not work for me and vice versa. We need to understand ourselves. And just because someone's promoting a particular product on Instagram, for instance, it doesn't mean it's the one for you. You need to work out what works for you. And how do you do that? With the data. And so once you've got that data, then we can work.
And does that, so let's say I've had my DNA analysis now. Could it change in a couple of years? Is it something you recommend doing?
No.
That's it.
Get it done once, but it needs to be done properly. And what I mean by properly, we only use one platform to do it. We use the only platform that has been featured as a direct consumer DNA analysis platform in the scientific journal Nature. So you've got two scientific journals, Science and Nature, and this is the only one that's ever been featured. And that shows it's peer reviewed, it's trusted, and more importantly, it's validated. The studies are validated. So it's an amazing platform. It looks at over 200 million genetic variants. Many other DNA analyses will look at potentially 30 or 40 genetic variants and then tell you, oh, you should take this, you should take that. You haven't got the info. You need the real deep dive.
So this is like the baseline product or service that people should do with you.
Without a doubt, yeah. You need to do that hand in hand. The way I explain it is your DNA is the handbook to the way you function, the way you work, and your blood work is like your report card at school.
Right.
And so what we're trying to do is understand how you work, then understand, okay, this is your potential. What can we do with the information we have as how you work to get to your optimals?
Because I did do a blood test blood works with you as well. So that was a different that was more hormones.
It'd be vitamin, mineral deficiencies, or if you're sufficient, it will be, it covers stuff, as I said, ApoB. So ApoB is the best marker for longevity, the hardening of the arteries. We need to get your ApoB down, ideally below 70. If you can get it below 65, then you're talking about reversing the hardening of your arteries. And it can be done within 3 to 6 months. And you can start literally reversing the damage you've done. And it's phenomenal. Then the other big marker is HSCRP. HSCRP is the inflammation in your body. You reduce the inflammation in your body, everything starts functioning well.
And inflammation is the cause of cancer, diabetes, literally everything that can go horribly wrong.
Absolutely.
Stems from inflammation.
Yeah, it certainly is. But also really, if you get your body overall in balance, as in all your markers functioning at optimal levels, then the risk of any tumours, any cancers is dramatically reduced. Aging slows down. It's really about the body in balance as a whole and not having one marker that's really out there. So all of these things we can do very easily, just typically with supplementation, maybe with NAD protocols, sometimes peptides as well.
And real estate, you've got a lot of real estate clients, so you know that it's high stakes, high stress, high adrenaline. Based on your work and based on the clients, your real estate clients, what are the biggest hidden health risks you've seen in a career like this?
Typically, it is inflammation. Inflammation that would typically stem from stress, high stress.
Is that cortisol?
Cortisol, yeah. Cortisol messes up the whole body. But then it's also, you need to understand how your body deals with cortisol. Now, some people, they can actually get rid of cortisol very quickly, whereas others, it stays in the brain and in the blood. and it's about how do you deplete that and how can you assist the depletion of that. And we can do that through many different methods, whether it be utilizing something like the Satori bed, or it can be utilizing different supplements again. But again, it's all for the individual. We need to understand the individual. There's not one generic one-size-fits-all plan for anyone. It's individual basis.
But do you notice with your real estate clients, there's something that's slightly different or common amongst them that perhaps aren't in your other clients?
So there's one genetic variant which can be described as having a warrior gene or a worrier gene. So getting stressed or being a fighter. So typically they are warriors. So they're go-getters. But also typically they have low NAD levels. Now,
let's talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
That's this little thing that you see here. In fact, that's reminded me. Let me take my SL NAD
sublingual
for the day.
Sublingual NAD wafer.
Sublingual means under the tongue.
That's correct.
It's a wafer. It tastes lovely, but you're not supposed to swallow it.
No, it's absolutely. So NAD can't
That's
be...
the hardest part for me, Daniel, honestly.
It tastes lovely, yeah.
It tastes lovely.
NAD can't be absorbed in the gut. So that's why people take it intravenously. You can take precursors, which turn into NAD. So that would be NMM and NR. Or we've got the only patented technology to take NAD orally, as in under the tongue. Now, this gives you 100 milligrams of NAD.
Right, so here we go.
Dun, dun, dun. Now, you continue speaking, please.
I'm going to try and talk without... What happens is it tastes so lovely, your mouth starts watering, and you can't help but swallow. See, I just did a little mini swallow, but I didn't swallow.
So we don't want to swallow,
So
don't want to swallow
leave it under my
saliva,
tongue,
otherwise you're wasting the NAD. Simple as that.
It's not supposed to go in your stomach, it's supposed to go in your bloodstream.
Into the capillaries under your tongue.
And that's...
I can make it easier for you. I'll continue to speak. All right. So going back to NAD levels. So what we look at is the warriors, the fighters, the people who are leaders. If you look back to when we were tribes on the savannah, they would be the one who led the pack, led the hunt, and they would get the animal, get the kill, and they would typically go and straight away and eat the heart or the liver. That's got the highest levels of niacin. Niacin, again, converts to NAD. So what we find is with a lot of executives, a lot of our real estate companies, the brokerages that we work with, that the leaders, they are just burning through their NAD. So they need to get more NAD in the system. So the best way to do, well, the two best ways is IV, but the easiest way is the supplement because you can take that daily.
Right.
So yeah, so it really is. It really goes back to, you know, as I say, on the savannas, and you just need to keep. So by the time we're 40 years old, our NAD levels deplete by about 60%, and what that means is brain function, drive, mental clarity, and focus, and the ability to just keep going. So what then you find is NAD levels are depleted. So where they've got people have instilled in their brain, I work like this, I'm a go-getter, I can keep doing it. They push their bodies, but that's when they start creating cortisol because they're not using their NAD levels anymore, or they're not using the sufficient supply of NAD. So it's so crucial to boost up your NAD, reduce the amount of stress, makes you feel great overall. It's not the But yeah, so
I had to swallow.
Okay.
Because it's a good way to shut me up.
Yeah, I was trying to.
Because I was just like, I want to interrupt, I want to say something. But so I'm on NADs.
Yeah.
SL NADs. And for the first 2 weeks, how it goes, you're supposed to take 2 a day.
Yep.
For the first 2 weeks.
That's the loading phase.
The loading, you call it the loading phase.
Yeah, so it's similar to when people are aware of creatine, you do a loading phase at the beginning, boost up your levels, and then after that, 1 a day, maintenance.
Right. So in that first 2 weeks, I don't know if it was a placebo or something, I just felt happier, generally happier, more efficient, more energetic.
Things just became easier.
Yeah, what's that all about?
So that is the NAD. That's the NAD working. So NAD is known as the miracle molecule. So it's been studied 74,000 times on PubMed across the board. It works in every cell in your body. So the way it works, we've got inside every cell of the body, you have what's called the mitochondria. The mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It provides all the energy around the cell. Now, the NAD, if you imagine the mitochondria as a car, the NAD is the engine to that car. The food you put in your body is the petrol or diesel or electricity to that car.
So that's inside your DNA
or
inside
your
cells?
Every cell. So you've got about
the red blood cells, white blood cells.
Every cell, you've got about 37 or about 50 trillion cells in your body.
Okay.
Inside every cell, you have a mitochondria. Inside that mitochondria, the engine to that mitochondria is NAD. If you don't have NAD in your body, you die within 30 seconds. It's crucial for every function. So it can be crucial for your eyesight, your hearing, when I take high levels of NAD, my nails grow really fast. When I do
that happened as well.
See, now you're noticing things.
Yeah.
When I do a high dose,
and my hair was growing.
a lot
quicker.
faster. When I do a high dose of NAD, I did 1,000 milligrams a while back. Next day at the gym with my personal trainer, I did 9 personal bests. Energy was just ridiculous.
Interesting.
And recovery as well, and sleep.
So I did, not only did I take the loading doses, but then I'd come back to your clinic and I'd have an NAD drip.
Mm-hmm.
And the drip was, what is it, like 2 weeks worth of NAD or?
So let's get right to the numbers. So this NAD here is giving you 100 milligrams, but as we just saw with yourself, you're not absorbing all that 100 milligrams because you swallowed.
Swallowed.
Yeah, you swallowed some.
But even if I swallow it, will it get to my stomach?
Your body just literally, your gut cannot absorb it at all. It's out of the question. It's not like you're getting 1%. It's you're getting maybe get 0.1. It just is broken down. Right. So say hypothetically,
because there are some swallowable NAD tablets out there.
Yeah, and they're either if they've got pure NAD in them, they are being missold and a total lie, total load of rubbish. They should not be sold. All studies show you cannot absorb NAD in the gut. Typically what they say that NAD capsules or tablets, and typically what they are is actually NR or NMN. And so then it can be absorbed in the gut, and that's the precursor, which then converts into NAD. But what you want really, you want the real deal. You want NAD straight into your bloodstream, and that will get there. So
can you snort it as well?
Haven't tried.
Because that would be easier than because that 2 minutes of not swallowing, that's not easy.
Oh, I mean, it's a lot easier than doing an IV though, which is 2 hours.
Oh, right. So the IV, 2 hours, I did that. And for some odd reason, I just get this like tightening in my stomach.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
So it's quite simply the side effects from it. So what some people find is you get a bit of cramps. Some people equate it to period pains. Also, you may get a kind of tightening of the chest or sometimes a flush. Some people actually quite like it after a while and get used to it. But what happens when it's just a bit too much for your body? So what we do, we simply slow down the drip. So it makes it more manageable.
Interesting. And I also had an iron drip.
Yes.
At your clinic, because my irons were very low. And that's one pill that I've just always kind of, zinc and iron, I've never really paid much attention to. But how important is iron for high performers?
Iron's very important, but it's typically more important for women. And it's typically more important through the menstrual cycle.
Because we have periods.
Correct. So you're losing a lot of iron there. So it's important, but it's not one of, except for women, if you look at as a whole, it's not one of the top ones to look at.
What's the biggest misconception people have about longevity?
Biggest misconception that you do it when you're older. Yeah, look, you can do it well, okay, let's put it to, for me, although I use the word longevity, I don't like the word. I'm using it because other people use the word longevity. For me, longevity is really about health span. It's about optimal health. It's about functioning for as long as you can, but keeping your health all the way. So you can, play with grandkids, play with great grandkids or whatever, kick a ball about when you're 90. Why not? But it's also about how you can function day to day with optimal health, high energy, the energy you want, and then sleep really well as well.
I don't know if it was the NADs or the iron or...
The NAD would have helped you with your sleep.
I mean, I sleep well anyway. I don't wake up in the middle of the night. But I felt like I dreamt a bit more. So that means it's like a deeper sleep, perhaps.
That's right.
So I had more vivid dreams during my SL, NAD and booster. What was it called? Loading period.
Loading phase. Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest misconception is you can leave it till later. What age group would you recommend people get started at?
Well, certainly it's really important to start doing NAD while you're about early 30s to mid 30s. That's by that time you've depleted your stores of NAD by about 50%. By 40, it's about 60%. So you need to get your NAD in them. But then also, for myself, it's about you should have had your NAD. You should have had your DNA done at birth. You should have this information to understand how you function. It'll make your life easier.
Daniel, I don't even know what my blood test is. My blood type is.
Okay. The blood type is less crucial. There's been people talking about blood type and blood type diets. That's a load of bollocks, right? What you need to know is what you're deficient in, what we can optimize, and how your methylation pathway works. That's really crucial.
It's more if I could help save someone, that's like bleeding. I'm like,
okay,
I'm the same blood type.
in that respect, but I'm talking about the food you eat is not relative to your blood type.
I
That was a
suspect
study
I'm
that
an
was about
O.
15 years ago.
I suspect I'm an O because mosquitoes love me.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I was like, Mother, I asked my mum, I was like, do you know what my blood type is?
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
Haven't got a clue. So if you get run over, it is what it is.
We've covered NADs, we've covered the DNA analysis and your blood works, which you should be doing blood works
annually without a doubt. But, for people who want to be optimal, you need to be doing it quarterly or every 6 months. We've seen dramatic changes with people when we're measuring their bloods every quarter. And then we're making little changes, little tweaks here and there, and that's when you're getting that extra, few percent. We work with quite a few real estate brokerages, but we also work with a lot of athletes as well. We've seen a few of our athletes recently win world titles, our boxers particularly, and we've been able to if you can give an athlete that extra 1 or 2%, it makes the world of difference, and we've been able to do that.
Let's talk about something else that's in your clinic, which fascinated me and was right up my street because I love massages. So you had something called a Sartori bed,
Yes.
which looked like a massage table. So I was like, what's that? Let's give it a try. So tell us what a Sartori bed is.
The Satori. So the Satori is it's actually vibroacoustic therapy. That's the technology behind it. So vibroacoustic. So vibrating sound.
Okay. Because I'm well into frequencies and, I'll go to sleep listening to the, solfeggio frequencies.
Okay, yeah,
things.
432s Okay, so it was designed by the US military. It was designed for PTSD. So in all the veterans hospitals across America, they have different, not necessarily the Satori bed, but they'll have vibroacoustic therapy.
Right.
And so what this does, it puts we all vibrate at different frequencies throughout the day when we sleep, when we just wake up, and depends if we're in a high state of stress as well. So when we're asleep, we vibrate between 0.5 megahertz and 4 megahertz. When we're awake and when we're just awaking and just going to sleep, we're between 4 and 7 megahertz. Now that area is where people meditate. That area is where people are hypnotized as well. After 7 megahertz, you're talking day-to-day people are in between 7 and 18 megahertz. Over 18, that's either when you're in hyper focus, so really zoned in, or when you are frantic. And it depends how the brain works. So the Satori can actually change the brain's frequency and the body's frequency at the same time. So the way it does it is the sound vibrations going through your body. We will typically put it on into a meditative state at about 5 or 6 megahertz. If we're aiming for 6 megahertz, we'll also put headphones on that will play nice spa-like music, where we'll play in one ear 100 megahertz and the other ear 106. Difference between the two being 6 megahertz. Your brain can't deal with the same sound with different frequencies. So your brain then has to correct the frequency. Then your brain straight away then goes into 6 megahertz. All of a sudden, you're in this blissful state. And that then calms the whole body down. It actually enables better absorption of IV drips as well. Because it works across the board. It's phenomenal. But also it allows people to meditate that calm and allows people to calm down.
Right. And that was, for me, it was such an eye-opener. So I think I came in once, and the first time I did the bed, there was so much going on and I was overthinking, and I was like, oh, I need the bed. Got on it, and I continued in I think my brain overpowered the frequencies, and I came off and I was like, Daniel, I didn't feel anything. And you were like, you need to slow down, do it again and try a different program. Yeah. And the next time I came back was after I'd had a drip, and I did a different program, and then I felt it. It was like that lightness that it's very, like if I said to you now, stop thinking, you wouldn't be able to do it. There is one trick I learned on Instagram or TikTok or something where you can stop a little exercise. I'll do it with you now. If you say to yourself, I wonder what thought I'm going to think next, that clears your
That's a
mind.
great move.
So if you keep repeating to yourself, I wonder what thought I'm going to think next, your mind actually goes blank.
Yep.
So that's the only time I experienced it. And then the second time I experienced it was on the Satori bed, second time around, with a different program. So you've got lots of different programs. Explain them.
So we've got about 40 different programs on there. I mean, just going back to what people feel on it, people typically, people have come off there, and it's if they've had a fruitful youth, should we say, they equated certain experiences when they were younger, or drug experiences.
So there's like regression, or
no, not necessarily regret, but people talk about that it's just like coming out of a K-hole.
Right,
People talk about it's just like coming up off a pill. People talk about all these different things. Bottom line is, it's what it's doing is changing your mental state to a way that you can only typically do whilst taking drugs. But it's doing it in a healthy way, and it's doing it in a controlled way. Controlling the frequency is so important to get you in a nice, peaceful state. So the different programs we have on it. So we've got ones that help with sleep. We've got ones for stopping smoking. We've got ones for
I didn't try that one.
Yeah, we've got ones for weight loss. We've got ones for addiction recovery. We've got ones for chakra balance. Ones for meditative journeys as well. But the bottom line, the thing that brings it all together is about calming the body, the central nervous system down. It's all about calming the central nervous system down. And the way we normally, before we put someone on there, what we typically do with someone is do another assessment as well, which is called Vita. Vita is a Meta headset, VR headset that's been adapted. So it's got 8 sensors around the eyes, and this measures 26 different parameters of brainwave activity. So what we can do, we can see how your brain is working while you're doing a cognitive assessment. And from that, we can see how close to burnout you are. If you're close to burnout, we need to do some intervention straight away. And that can be with supplementation, it can be with IVs, and certainly it will be with Satori. But then not only that, you understand how you manage stress, and that's really crucial. We've worked with a couple of corporate teams. We haven't done this with the brokerages as yet, but we've done it with one government agency out here, and then a couple of corporate teams out here. So people understand with how their brain works, how they manage stress, but also the rest of their team. So we do what is called a breakdown of me and a breakdown of the team. And so it'd be a one-page document that explains how you like to deal with different tasks. If you give me tasks in this way, I'll be more effective. If you give me tasks in this way, I will break and crumble. And then so it's worked really well, certainly with the government agency we're working with at the moment. The results they've seen from it have been phenomenal. For
agents who typically will get, and they might not even be aware of it, but cortisol spikes is a real reality in this industry. So how can it help someone who's suffering from... what does cortisol spike even feel like, do you think?
Well, I think everyone knows when they've had it, they're just on edge, they're tense. If you're feeling stressed, or feeling overwhelmed, and it's just too much going on, your cortisol can be chronically, as opposed to just spike, it can be chronic, and it's always up there. And unfortunately, that's what we have seen with some of the brokerages, or the people within the brokerages, that their cortisol levels are just kind of constantly up there. There's no spikes to it. They're just plateaus. They're in trouble. Constantly. Yeah, but we can treat them. And that is also,
and it's like poison, isn't it?
It certainly is. But that's the thing, is that's very manageable. It's not just doing the Satori. That's them finding out from their DNA what we can do, how the methylation pathway. So there's a genetic variant called COMT, C-O-M-T. And this is about how the body gets rid, or not, as the case may be, of cortisol, how quickly it can get rid of cortisol. And so with everything that is in the methylation pathway is like a network of switches. Now, it's the only part of your DNA that you can really change. And so these are switches that you can turn on and off. So we then can give certain supplementation that will adjust their COMT variant, and that will enable them to get rid of the cortisol a lot quicker through the body. So even though they may then have these spikes, okay, we can get rid of it. Then the next step is, how do we stop having the spikes? Okay, well, this will be down to stuff like NAD. This will be down to stuff like Satori, getting manageable breathing processes.
Because everyone's like, oh, I'm stressed. But actually, it's not, I'm not saying it's in your mind, but yeah, to some degree, you're making yourself leak cortisol into your blood. You can control it.
Okay, let me tell you something that's quite interesting. Most people that we found, and it's only anecdotal, that we've come to the clinic and we've said, okay, you're going to put on your Vita, we're going to measure your stress, your baseline stress, how high it goes up and down, see their brain in real time, how it's working. Everyone who comes and says, "Oh, I'm going to break your machine. I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed."
Like it's some badge of honor.
They're not stressed. They're the ones, they're never stressed. It's the people that say, "No, I manage stress fine. I'm stressed." And you can see their shoulders are tense. "No, I can deal with stress. No, I deal with stress all the time." They're the ones that are flipping close to burnout. So so although some people may say it's badge of honor, I think the people who are really going through stress are the people who don't let anyone know. And they're the people, they know internally, they feel it internally, they know they're on edge, I can manage it. I'm a man, or I'm a successful woman, I can manage this stress. This is what I do day to day. I've always done it.
I can handle it.
Yeah, I can handle it. Bollocks, you can't handle it. Your body is breaking down. And you can return this back. If you go look at the cellular level, what we can do to change, we can make your life easier. Why don't you just make your life easier and performing at a high level? And it doesn't have to feel overwhelming. Because a lot of people know that inside, but they won't say it.
What are some early warning signs everyone should be looking out for?
Early warning signs, obviously blood pressure is a classic.
Can you feel blood pressure in your body without having to do a blood pressure check?
You can feel if your heart's racing.
All right, so palpitation.
Yeah, but not even palpitation. But if your heart's racing. The problem being with blood pressure is you get used to it. You're not used to being on a calm level. If you're constantly on the go, that a lot of the people we work with are just bam, bam, bam. Constantly, I've got another phone call, got to go to another viewing, got to do this, going to this launch. They're on the go all the time. They're not coming down. So would they feel it? No, because their levels are already standardized. But really
you might get symptoms of high blood pressure is that kind of tension headache, or like you feel your brain swelling to some degree.
Unfortunately,
right?
Unfortunately, I mean, we've seen that recently with someone. You're that close to a stroke. When your blood pressure is through the roof, you could be having a stroke, and then you're really screwed. Bottom line is, the best way is to find out how you are actually managing stress. Do the brain assessment, and we will be able to show you this is how close you are. Do something about it now. And we're not trying to put fear into people, but again, if you can bring all this stuff down, you'll feel life is easier, and you'll still function, and you'll be more effective in your work. You'll get more done. The idea about presenteeism, how much are you getting done? A lot of people like to just, I've got to work hard. I feel I've got to work hard. Well, sure you do, but how about if you could do that and it just felt like a piece of piss? Because that's the thing. We can do stuff so it makes your life just feel easy, and you're doing 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you're getting fit, and you're closing deals, you're getting the big deals, and it's easy, and it can be done.
Any other warning signs, early warning signs?
It's not necessarily about warning signs. You need to see it in your bloods. It's not like a visual, typically. Obviously, if people are waking up in the night stressed, they know that. People just think that's normal after a while. I mean, I know when I was running my company in the UK, I'd be waking up in the night, and after I just got used to it. Wake up in the middle of the night, thinking about deals, thinking about business, and it just became normal.
What else could your sleep tell you?
What can your sleep tell you? It's more about how much restorative sleep, how much deep sleep, how much REM sleep you're getting. It's about, is your body recovering? That can be recovering from workouts, but also is your body, basically your brain, it needs to get rid of the toxins while you sleep, the stress hormones.
I think, does Apple monitor your sleep levels?
I believe it can, but you need to wear the watch.
Right.
So I don't want to wear a watch.
Nobody wants to wear the watch.
I mean, I wear an Oura ring.
Right.
And that monitors my sleep.
That's what it is. Okay.
I'm not going to keep my finger down, but yes, that's what it does.
Yeah. And what about the Whoop? Everyone's...
Yeah, Whoop's good. Yeah, Whoop's good. But I think people can just live by it. And I'm 6 years old. I'm 6.7 years older. Oh, no, I'm 6.3 years older. Oh, I'm 5 years younger. Look, what the data you're getting on that is only based on heart rate. It's not showing the real data. There's a lot more important markers than just you find on the Whoop. And these, like for instance, ApoB is so much more important than the data you're getting on the Whoop. Your inflammation, so much more important than the data you're getting on the Whoop. The way you deal with insulin resistance, so much more important. So first of all, you've got to get your bloods checked. You need to know your blood levels. And so we're talking about indicators for sleep, for stress, all these things. The indicators are in your bloods.
Are in your bloods, yeah.
Yeah, that's where you find it.
And what would you say to, I mean, it's November, so it's men's mental health month.
Just
let's have a talk about that, because you yourself went through depression.
No, I wasn't depressed. So that was the thing.
Oh, yeah. Right, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I wasn't depression. The doctor thought I was depressed. It was just that I didn't have enough, because I was used to going 1,000,000 miles an hour, and basically my NAD levels were just super low, and I didn't have enough. I wasn't metabolizing vitamin B3, which turns into NAD. So that's the thing. It's like misdiagnosed.
So you need to get your bloods done to see if you're deficient in vitamin B3.
Yeah.
And the other important one is vitamin D.
So crucial.
You assume we're in
Sunny
Dubai. We've got no shortage of sun. We've got no shortage of vitamin D. But actually, it's the people that are in this region are probably most deficient in it.
You're inside.
Because we're indoors,
yeah.
you know. But
okay, so with vitamin D is one of the most crucial. So there's a study out by the American Health Insurance Association that shows the difference. Let's think about American health insurance first of all.
They don't want to pay out.
They do. Not only do they not want to pay out, but they want to know why someone is going to hospital. They want to be able to have clear indications why people go into hospital and what impacts their bottom line. The difference between someone being sufficient and insufficient of vitamin D reduce. So if you're sufficient, you reduce overall healthcare costs by 39%. So that is across the board healthcare costs. It's huge. Just from one supplementation.
That's good to know for the insurance company, but bad for the hospitals.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
So could they be could it be that our vitamin D results are being tampered with?
I wouldn't say so. No, okay. No, not at all, not at all. No, because the bottom line is, where's the education about vitamin D? If we had...
We've heard about vitamin C since we were like 6 years old, but eat your oranges and eat your...
Well, I'll give you a funny story about that. So I suppose some ways, one of the ways I first got into kind of looking at supplementation was I was about 14, 15, and going behind the drama block, having a cigarette, as we did.
I was there.
Yeah, and Mum realised I was smoking, and she brought me a book, Health for Hooligans. All right, so it's very apt. So in this book, I noticed it said, every cigarette you smoke depletes the body of 30 milligrams of vitamin C. Okay, an orange has 25 milligrams. So at that point, I realised
for every
I'm not
cigarette.
eating enough oranges.
For every cigarette I have, I'm just going to have an orange
but I'm not
afterwards,
having enough.
Yeah.
But clearly I'm not having enough. So at that point, I remember I was about 15, I started taking vitamin C. But really, going back to vitamin D is crucial for everyone. It's just so easy to take, so cheap, simple supplement, and that will have a knock-on impact. So for instance, if you look at we were talking about health insurance there. From an employer's perspective, every year here, from what I'm aware, the health insurance goes up for employers by about 20%.
Yeah.
Now, that is only based upon last year's claims. So if you can reduce your overall claims, so if you've got all your staff to take vitamin D and make sure they took vitamin D, your health insurance claims are no longer going to be going up. And you're saving 20% on your health insurance every year.
Could have like most of the big brokerages have got a coffee shop or some
slap some vitamin D on the table.
Slap some vitamin Ds and NADs rather than the cookies and the...
Oh yeah, get rid of the sugar. Get rid of the sugar, we all know, yeah.
Dr. Naval's brilliant, but I've got so much homework to do. I've got so many reports. I'll be honest, I haven't done everything.
You haven't got that much to do, right? You don't need to read all the reports. What you need to do...
I'm just going to run it through ChatGPT.
You're not going to run it through ChatGPT. I'll tell you why. Right? If I run your report through ChatGPT and you run it through ChatGPT, you're going to get different results. You want the direction of a medical director, not a large language model. That is not giving you the right direction. All you've got to do is look at his action plan. That's all you need to do.
But there's so many actions.
No, say all it is just basically, look at the 10 most important things, do those in order.
Yeah.
Very simple.
Do that for me.
I'll break it
priority
down.
Wise.
I'll do it priority, break it down. It's literally just getting the supplements, just get them ordered, get them delivered, and then just take them every day. That's all you've got to do. Simple. Just do that. And do that for me, and then you're going to feel flipping amazing.
I still haven't decided about what I'm going to do about lactose, but yeah.
So put that to the side.
Yeah?
So that, yeah.
Okay.
That's advice. But it's not. But the supplements are crucial. So getting the right dosage and the right ones for you for your methylation pathway.
Okay, and get me a supplement that will cancel out the effects of the lactose or something.
We can work with that.
All right, thank you. Moving on, let's have a little quick lightning round.
I'm ready.
Most underrated supplement.
Okay, we can talk vitamin D there, but I would say NAD. NAD without doubt.
Worst thing real estate agents do to their bodies.
Probably lack of sleep. I'd say going all hours. You need some time for yourself, but it's
minimum.
It was 6 hours. Ideal 7 to 9, but really 6 hours you can suffice, especially when you're young.
All right. One health habit people should stop today.
One health habit, alcohol. I know it's horrible to say for a lot of people, but stop drinking.
Let's take a pause on that and go on. detail.
Detail.
This industry globally has a huge drinking culture.
Yeah, it does.
And why? Because you need to...
You need the release. Yeah. You want the release. But it's the amount, I take it away from alcohol. People are still going to drink. Mm-hmm. Drink tequila, drink vodka. That's the one. It's just because it's the sugar. Reduce the sugar. Yeah, I mean, if you can have a G&T or vodka tonic or whatever, do that.
Avoid.
As much as I hate to say it, avoid beer and avoid wines, champers.
Champagne. Yeah.
Just have a great celebration, but do it for tequila.
Do it with celebrate with tequila shots, not champagne bottles. All right. One thing you wish everyone in Dubai would test at least once.
Your DNA. Get your DNA done. You only need to have it done once properly in your life. It's your handbook for life. It will never change except for your methylation pathway. Which you can turn on and off, but your basic methylation pathway will stay fixed. So then you just need to know what switches to turn on and off and how to reduce the bottlenecks.
Of all your drips and your treatments and your Sartori beds, what's the one treatment an agent or a high performance person in the industry should take the day after a high stress event?
After a high stress, I would say it's about doing it before, but get your NAD done before, do an NAD drip. Because then everything just calms down. You can do 1,000,001 things. I mean, NAD has been equated to, for instance, the limitless pill when you're doing it properly. You can just do 1,000,001 things and it slows the hell down. But then if you're talking about afterwards, I would also, there's a new one I've just done actually. I did this yesterday. I did methylene blue as an IV. People may have heard of methylene blue. It's actually a food dye, really bright blue. It felt amazing. But I would suggest, again, doing that. So the way I'd do it would be 3 days before, NAD. Day before, methylene blue. Day after, NAD.
Okay, all right.
That'd be the new protocol.
What a protocol. That sounds like an expensive protocol as well.
Not too bad, no.
How much are we talking
So we'd be talking to do that about 5,000.
Mm-hmm. And the NADs?
NADs,
how much is this?
This is only 495. So if you're doing this is a nice, easy way. And also it means you can do it on the go. You don't have to spend time in coming to the clinic.
Can you get me a little discount code for Golden Nugget viewers?
Of course I can. It's got an old school name or something.
Right, we'll get you a discount. Leave me to negotiate that off stage, and I'll put it in the link below. So NAD discount. And
what I can do as well, because we've got another product there, is glutathione. So glutathione is the master antioxidant. Mm-hmm. So it basically detoxes the liver, cleanses the liver. So if you've been partying hard.
Yeah.
For a start, actually, the NAD really helps with hangovers. Mm-hmm. But the glutathione actually cleanses out the body for detox, so I can do a discount code for both. All
right, amazing. Okay, check it out in the description below. So Daniel, tell us about some of the packages, like entry packages, if you're an individual broker, all the way up to enterprise packages.
Okay, so what we do for individuals, we've got 3 tiers of membership. All of the memberships have your DNA analysis, your blood work done either quarterly or biannually. They include Satori, Elite Vita assessment, and then you get a loading phase of NAD drips plus bespoke vitamin drips. So the vitamin drips are designed on your DNA analysis, so designed specifically for you. And so the tiers are based upon how regularly you're going to come to the clinic. They vary from about 3,500 up to 7,500 per month. What we've done for a lot of brokerages, we just do the teams, the NAD supplements. But what we also do for often the kind of the top tier, we will do just do memberships, but we work on a case-by-case basis. We can design a package that fits them. We can obviously come out to one company we go out to and do their drips in the offices there, yeah. And we can also do it at home as well. And we're very flexible about timing, of course, because we can understand that all of a sudden someone has to rush off. We can be flexible about that. So basically everything we do from an individual is bespoke. So we do exactly the same for teams as well. We make a bespoke package really for what their budget is and what they hope to get out of it.
And so, I mean, a lot of brokerage gifting is kind of like watches and car rentals and stuff like that. But I think this would be a really nice touch that you care about someone's health and well-being and longevity, is to gift them a package for a year or something. I don't know.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for instance, you're going to see better results than giving someone a watch is fantastic, but how sustained the results from that watch? We're talking about improving their performance.
So it's not about the external flex, it's the internal flex.
Well, the internal flex is, okay, biological age. That's going to be the new flex. Is, okay, for instance, myself, I'm 44, just about to turn 45. My biological age at the moment is 33, right? That's a badge of honor. So we've had this before. We've had people in the clinic all of a sudden they're calling up their other mates and go, what was yours, mate? What was yours? And it's so funny because some people have reversed their age by 7 or 8 years. Some people have reversed their age by 10 years. And that is the badge of honor because then they're now competing because people in real estate are so competitive and they want to compete and be, yeah, I'm 21 again. And, but not, or 25.
Yeah. Okay. And if you don't take a package, you can still just pop in to the clinic.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do single drips because the point.
Oh, you don't?
We don't do single drips. No, certainly not with NAD. NAD, you need to do a protocol. People who sell single drips, they're just selling it because they want to. We want to see measurable results. So for us to see measurable results, we need to look at your data. When we want, so that will always start with your DNA and your bloods, and that's so crucial. Even if you just want to come and do DNA and bloods and then take the NAD, you're going to, and also listen to our medical director. Our medical director is an absolute genius. He's a specialist in biomedical informatics. That means he understands the data, understands how it works for you, and what he can do.
He's been so patient with me and all my tantrums. I'm like, no,
he's brilliant.
50,000
You've got to listen to what he says though, and you'll see the changes. You really will see the changes dramatically.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm still like kind of on my journey.
Yeah.
So, my hair's growing, my nails are growing.
You look
as
like
well.
you're glowing as well.
I feel like I'm glowing. There is a bit of, makeup on top, but I generally feel I'm definitely in a better mood.
Yeah.
I sleep well anyway. I don't really have that much stress, or I don't feel cortisol or high blood pressure or anything. And I'm working out as well. So he's given me like a little workout routine as well. And something else that was in the DNA is what you're prone to break or your muscles and stuff.
Oh, man, it's unbelievably accurate. So for me, it said I would have rotator cuff injuries. I've had rotator cuff injuries. Luckily, I've resolved that now with stem cell treatment. So my rotator cuff is no problem. Other people...
mine was my Achilles tendon.
Yeah, and...
because I'm always in heels.
So important.
My DNA knows that my Achilles is probably the first to go.
So you've got to be careful. You've got to strengthen that, strengthen those ankles.
All right,
so
okay.
important.
I'll do the incline on the treadmill.
Yeah, do some weights as well.
Oh, yeah. No, I do that. But not on my legs. Not on my ankles.
Yeah, you can.
Really?
You should do, yeah.
All right, I should really get a personal trainer because I'm really,
got to.
I'm winging all of this.
Worst thing is to damage your ankles. Yeah.
Anything else my listeners should take away to live longer?
To live longer. I think it's just about living healthier. We mentioned about a certain age, maybe how many New Year's Eves do we have left, or how many birthdays do we have left? You want to just basically enjoy the time as much as possible and to have the energy. The worst thing in the world is to be ill.
Yeah.
So get your vitamin D levels, get your blood work done. Blood work is so important. Get your DNA done. Once you've done those, good the groundwork, then you can start optimizing. Know what supplements you're taking
for you,
because a lot of them you may as well just throw them down the toilet. You're not even absorbing them. And also, to be honest, the brands you're buying as well. We'd recommend a couple of them. We don't sell other supplements, but we'd recommend basically typically like Thorn or Now. They've been third party tested, and also don't get them from Amazon. Reason being, a lot of them have been shown that they're fake.
Interesting.
Yes, so get them from a pharmacy or from someone like iHerb.
Or Noon. Or
Noon, exactly,
okay. All right, cool. Well, thank you very much, Daniel, for that life-lengthening discussion. And I'll see you back in the clinic very soon. I'll come and get another drip done. And
we need to get you on the berberine.
The berberine, yeah, I have heard about this before as a definite thing for diabetes control.
So good at insulin resistance, and as I say, for hardening of the arteries. So important.
Amazing. Hope you enjoyed that. Let us know what your favorite golden nugget takeaway was from that episode, and join us on the next one.
Thank you.